those been read and filed. There's going to be a change to the resolution. Here we go. Resolution number 7. Resolution number 7 is a mirror image of number 5. So number 7 is gone. Number 8 is 7. Number 9 is 8. Number 10 is 9. Number 11 is 10. We will be going to executive session to discuss personnel of a particular person. At this time, we will take comments on the resolutions, keeping in mind to please keep your questions to 3 minutes.
Heather, what was taken out? What number? What number is scratched? What number is scratched? 7.
Go.
By the council and seconded by the council, resolved that the common council minutes from May 15, 2012 be accepted as filed.
Members, questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Further resolution adopted.
By the council and seconded by the council, resolved at the recommendation of the city engineer Jason J. Lamonaco, P.E., that awarded the construction and inspection phase services of Koenig Alley Storm Sewer be made to Wendell Drescher Architects and Engineers at a cost not to exceed $12,450.
Comments or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Further resolution adopted.
By the council and seconded by the council, resolved at the recommendation of the city engineer Jason J. Lamonaco, P.E., that awarded the contract for construction of the Koenig Alley Storm Sewer be made to Chad Robertson Contracting Corp. at a cost not to exceed $74,018.75.
Comments or questions? I have a comment on this one. This alley's been going back since forever. And really, I think moving ahead with this thing, as the mayor said in the informal, there was no storm sewer back there, so it went originally, and with this water from any of the buildings, it would be going to the Tonawanda Treatment Center, and what we've been doing is we've been paying for all the water, and that's just a waste, and I think that it's about time that we're getting moving on this thing, and hopefully we can get done real fast then. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Further resolution adopted.
By the council and seconded by the council, resolved at the recommendation of the city engineer Jason J. Lamonaco, P.E., that awarded change order number 2 to the Spalding Commerce Park project be made to L.J. Quigliano II, Inc. at a cost not to exceed $14,659.44.
Comments or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Declare the resolution adopted.
By the council and seconded by the council, resolved at the recommendation of the city engineer Jason J. Lamonaco, P.E., that award of Phase 2 residential inspection be made to Malcolm Perney, Inc. at a cost not to exceed $10,000.
Comments or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Declare the resolution adopted.
By the council and seconded by the council, resolved at the recommendation of the city engineer Jason J. Lamonaco, P.E., that award of Amendment 1 for Niagara Park Pavilion be made to Bergman Associates at a cost not to exceed $13,806.50.
Comments or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Declare the resolution adopted.
By Councilmember Sliss, resolved the 2012 general fund budget be amended to account for the federal Stone Garden federal grant funds administered by Erie County used to purchase an all-terrain vehicle for the police department as per your agenda.
Comments or questions? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilwoman Heather. Comments or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Declare the resolution adopted.
By the council and seconded by the council, resolved that Timothy P. Moriarty, 2645 Sheridan Drive, be appointed Commissioner of Deeds in the city of Tonawanda, term to expire December 31st, 2012.
Comments or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Declare the resolution adopted.
By Councilmember Little, resolved that Mr. Ronald J. Pelosi as mayor of the city of Tonawanda or such person's successor is hereby authorized and directed to file an application for 50 50% matching funds in an amount not to exceed $21,000, and upon approval of said request, to enter into and execute a project agreement with the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation for such financial assistance to the City of Tonawanda, New York, for a comprehensive citywide tree inventory and assessment.
Do I have a second?
Second, Mr. President.
Second by Councilperson Casa. Comments or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Declare the resolution adopted.
By Councilmember Little, resolved that in recognition and compliance with the New York State Open Meetings Law, this Common Council will meet in executive session in the Common Council chambers for the purpose of pending exempt city business. And further be it resolved that upon conclusion of the above stated business matters, the meeting shall again be open to the general public. The reason for the executive session is to discuss personnel of a particular person.
Do I have a second? I'll second that. Comments or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Declare the resolution adopted. At this time, we're going to open the floor up. And I've got one of these. Again, we're going to keep the 3 minutes. Anybody can voice anything. Please, would you please come up to the microphone, state your name, address, and again, keep the 3 minutes.
My name is Robert A. Lane, 252 Gibson Street, City of Tonawanda. You said state my business?
Yep.
Yes. Earlier we had a meeting. I got interrupted by Jim on my proposal. I didn't feel that was proper. Jim made some statements regarding my catapult business. I just want the city council, I know you're going to arrange meetings. I'd like to bring to the city council's attention that his contract states that he has 100 feet to the east of the ramp. He has currently 127 feet. Also, it currently agreed that his kayak ramp was agreed with the city council, but it was also agreed that it would be on his property, not city property. It was also agreed sorry. I lost my place. That's what happens. Like I said, I'm disabled, so I just like I said, the ADD, so I get out of place. Currently, his dock box is overweight, and someone made a comment that it was not safe. I'm not going to say names, but it is quite a bit overweight for the dock it's sitting on, and it's dangerously ready to probably collapse. Okay. I didn't want to bring any matters up. I was hoping that Jim and I would resolve these matters. There is plenty of space for my business to be there, and I hope the city council would like to have a meeting very soon. Okay, thank you.
All right, it's as I said in the meeting, I'd like, a picture's one thing, but really I'd like to go and see it. I'd like to see, his contract, we'll bring his contract up so I can read it and see exactly where he's going to be supposed to be located at, how much he's supposed to have. I mean, if I have to bring my own millio down there, we'll figure it out, we'll measure it down, we'll see it, we'll go from there. Okay? I mean, the door's not closed yet, the more the merrier, you know what I'm saying?
I'd like to define regarding handicap and disabled, handicap equipped. Okay, I was informed by someone else that the proper term for dealing with handicap disabled is handicapped equipped. That would be properly handicapped equipped to handle such persons like myself.
Okay. All right, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Ms. Zoller.
Mr. Boyle.
3 minutes.
Starting now. Okay, so the draft, this is the RFP's proposal, the requested proposal. And I'm just asking the question, I don't want to make assumptions. I have asked to perhaps get a copy of that. I'm not sure if the Open Meetings Law allows for a draft copy though. But I think I understand that it is remaining R2. What I heard that I guess shocked me was that you're looking for housing. Am I correct in stating, is that what that proposal is suggesting?
R2 is residential.
So there
not what we're saying.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. So can you tell me a little bit more? Because you know more, obviously.
Residential could be an apartment building.
Okay.
It could be,
But it won't be commercial. It most
we
certainly
can
cannot
build
be commercial.
15 units on that piece of property. Mr. Rank.
Sir.
Building inspector, Rank. Can you explain exactly what R2 is?
I still have like 230.
R2 is general residence district and allows 1, 2, or multiple family dwellings.
Okay.
Okay, so back to my question. I guess my ultimate question is, when did the concept of something more perhaps commercial die out?
I think, personally myself, it's the input that we had from the people. They did not want
Okay. I just missed it. I didn't know, and I've read an article, and I didn't understand until today when that said, single family dwellings, I think is what I caught from just the brief parts that were being read in the informal session. So again, that was all my question was, and if I'm going to give you an opportunity to do something that probably you haven't ever done before. There are 15 kids here tonight. So I'm going to give you the question that I always ask Carl is, what is your role as a council member? What is the role of this entity?
Okay. I'll explain this the best way I can. We have what's called a strong mayor, weak council. But seeing how we are considered a weak council, we set laws, we close streets, we pave streets, we okay the budget. What we are, easiest way to explain it is we're the watchdogs for the mayor. Without us, the mayor could do anything he wants to. But more or less what we do is we watch out to do the best interest for the city. But, I mean, if there's been other municipalities where there's constant infighting back and forth between the council and the mayor, nothing ever gets done. I think with the, I'm going on my 5th term, and truthfully, the mayors that I've worked with, Rod's probably one of the best ones. I mean, you work together, even though he's one of them and I'm one of them, but we throw that right out the window. But I mean, that's what it is. We okay the budget. We set local laws. We okay the budget. I mean, there's $16,900,000 budget. That's a lot of money that, you guys are electing us to be your watchdogs. How's that sound? And you're done.
That was my last question.
Yes.
And this is just came to mind. If the residents at Niagara Shore have an issue with the commercial aspect, so the council has determined residential is the best route to go, what do you do then with a housing project up there where those people don't want it? And I'm asking the question because you just made a statement that the council has determined the best thing for the city as a whole is to put residential here. But then you said, because those guys don't want commercial. How do you then transfer that over to the concept of Little League housing? If the majority of those residents don't want it up there, then is the council going to make the same decision, which may not be the best decision for the city?
Really what it was is we needed a certain amount of votes to change the zoning on the council, and we did not have that certain amount of votes.
How many did you need?
That wasn't a super majority to change that, was it?
Only for bonding.
Okay. That's a better answer, I think. Thank you.
Any other comments? Mr. Byrne. How are you, Mayor, man?
Right, thank you. Robert Turner, 286 Niagara Shore Drive. My question is, I have to address the council, but I guess it's the mayor's responsibility to do this. On the water department property, I'd like to say that I've lived at River Edge for 22 years now. And in all that time, I've never had a problem with mosquitoes. And it's a nice place to live because there are no mosquitoes. But the water department property has a lot of dips in it where water lays in it. And it would be nice if the city would bulldoze it and smooth it out, and then so they cut the grass in the middle that they leave grow and maintain their property just like the rest of the residents. If you could do that, everybody would be happy. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Robin McGowan. I live at know, the city put a street light in there last summer, or maybe this summer, a few summers ago, which just enables these kids at 2 o'clock in the morning who are basketball bouncing, and what you call the police department, and there's, well, are they being loud? Well, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't think I should hear basketball. I just wonder why in the middle of a residential area, they decided to put basketball court. I mean, it's a children's playground. People leave with their young children, you see 16 teenagers playing ball because they're just disrespectful and the language is uncalled for. And when you ask them if they can clean it up with the same language, you get told no, they don't want. So my question is, can anything be done about removing the basketball hoop and put it down at Milwaukee Parkway? No one's going to care how the lane is long and loud or dark.
You only want to put a 4-foot fence?
It may be 5, but it had to be lowered to the length of my house. The fence company that put it up asked if they could have a variance at putting up the 6 foot. I mean, I've got walls flying over while I'm cooking on the grill. My grill has been hit, my glass table's been broken. My fence is used as the backboard and, you know, whatever you call it, where they jump off the fence to, you know,
Mandy, where the backboard is, where she's talking about, is there any way that something could put up a screen, a fence, or anything like that to keep the ball from going in there?
Oh, I don't even know what it is. I'm just tired of that. You know, the other thing is that the playground is really not kept. You know, that they mow the lawn without picking up glass bottles, tin cans, and it's shredded. I mean, we've got little kids.
Guys, where are we meeting here, please?
You know, the fall leaves from last fall are still up against the fence. They were never cleaned up. The weeds, they don't weed whack or edge or anything. You know, it's just, it's a cute playground, and a lot of young families are coming, but when they see, you know, the teenagers and stuff, people leave, and it's too bad.
Okay, now another question is, I thought all the parks were at dusk.
Yeah.
Dusk? No?
And that is my other concern is on the mortgage. I noticed this morning the Parks Department did put a, you know, no dogs allowed.
I'm sorry.
But, you know, a no dog allowed sign, but they put it on the shelter, which is really low, and someone will get hurt because the shelter, when they put the new cement slab, should have raised the ceiling of that. I mean, I am only 5'4", and my head hits the roof of the shelter. But anyway, the sign they put is on the shelter. If you're coming in from Morgan Street, you're walking through the park with your dog, and you don't see it until you're almost out on Broad Street.
I mean, what?
Why can't a sign be
We make our own signs, so I mean.
on Morgan Street at the signs, the park is open and closed and no dogs allowed?
Okay, all right, very good. All right, we'll take that into consideration. Thank you very much. Yes. I think we can look at getting another sign put up there for no dogs.
That would be
But I mean, really, you know, if we could get something up to keep the balls from going in your
or
backyard.
save my fence from getting ruined.
All right. And then the hours of operation, that's something that we've talked about. Maybe this is something that we can restir this up and let's get something done at maybe. Okay. We've been looking at dusk. Some's at dusk, the other one's at 10. Maybe Tony and I are one at 10 and the other park's supposed to, you know, dusk.
And my other thought or concern was, has the soil in that park area ever been tested for toxic waste?
I don't know what to figure that
Well,
out.
on my land survey, my property line, that was the state ditch years ago. I know when I had my fence put in, a lot of junk came up, like bottles and glass. You know, it's not even like real dirt. I'm just wondering, because a lot of my neighbors have since passed away of cancer, or they have multiple sclerosis. I'm just wondering, I mean, being that you've got young families with young children, if that soil had ever been tested for any type of toxins.
We'll bring that up also. Thank you. Any other? Councilperson Little.
I have nothing to say at this time.
What? Councilman Bassett.
Good evening. Let's see, what day was it? Thursday. I participated in my first leadership day at Mullen School. It was a really great event. They honored the fire department and the police department for the wonderful service to the city. They also gave a very nice plaque to the city mayor and county council, talked about a lot about leadership being from a young person, teaching it when you're 5 years old, taking responsibility for yourself and leading not only yourself but people around you. It's a really great program to really teach the kids so they grow up to be well-adjusted adults and really take part in this great city. And I just wanted to thank Mullen School for holding that event. And I am looking forward to seeing what happens down by the canal for the water boats. I know we have a lot of new attractions coming to the city, and hopefully it all gets worked out. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Councilman Sliss? Thank you. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Interim Council President Boyle.
Say that 5, 10, 15.
At any rate, when Councilman Boyle started talking about our system of government for the young people here, I think it's important to note that, yeah, the mayor is responsible for the day-to-day activities, but he has to work within some guidelines that pretty much are set by the common council. I have to devise a budget, excuse me, every year. They have to pass it, they can tweak it a little bit, and that's what I have to live with in terms of the day-to-day operation of the city. Whenever we issue bonds for any major project, one of the things that happens is we have to go through a bonding agency to get a rating. I'm sure most of the people here have heard of Standard & Poor's. So this week, excuse me, last week we were given a credit rating of A+ stable. When I first took this job, a little over 7 years ago, it was BAAA+. Now, I'm not going to stand here and take all the credit for that because there's a lot of people back there, all the council people. But I want everybody to know that your government, under some very adverse economic conditions, is doing a pretty decent job of watching the finances of the city. Again, it's not just Brown Pelosi. There's department heads back there, and it's council members working together. One other thing, I just want to mention and give some accolades to Sam Araji, my administrative assistant. For about 2 years now, we've been working on LED lights. When I say LED lights, we already have them in our stoplights throughout the city. But it's a $400,000 bill to the city every year for street lights, believe it or not. LED lights would cut that at least by 30 to 40%, maybe more. Sam and I, at least 2 years ago, were on the phone trying to get what they call a tariff classification out of the Public Service Commission. Lo and behold, about 3 weeks ago, we met with Mayor Orth of North Tonawanda and Senator Maziarz, because he's the senator in charge of the Energy Committee, along with some folks from National Grid. And it looks like we are going to be close to getting a rate classification, or I should say tariff classification, for LED lights. that all came from the city of Tonawanda. And we received a letter from NICOM, which is the New York Council of Mayors, mentioning that. And the money that could be saved across this whole state, it totals in the millions and millions of dollars. So hopefully we start the ball rolling here that it's going to help not only the city of Tonawanda, but every municipality across this state. So I thank Sam for that. And if any of you were here during our workshops session, basically there was some back and forth over a additional paddle boat operation. I, for one, think whenever we can bring something like that to our city, it's going to help the downtown business district, and it's also going to allow us to put our best foot forward in terms of being the destination for tourists. Just want to make sure that when we do things like that, that we're not overcrowding an area too. So I would hope that the council people here have the opportunity to go down there, take a look, and then we can discuss it more in the future, and hopefully come to a good conclusion, allowing everybody to have their fair amount of space, and again, attract people to our city. And that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Myself, I just want to reiterate what Tyler said. We went to this leadership thing, and one thing that was pretty cool about it is there's only their main goal is to get to what's called a lighthouse school. There's only 600 in the world. 600 in the world. And Tonawanda is, through Mullen and also Riverview, they're trying to get both the lighthouse school. Something else that's fun about this is, got this young lady right here. She's on my bus at Riverview. And I got another young lady over there that I take over to Canton Moses. And I got this young lady over here. She was my 4th grade teacher. She goes, I haven't changed. I have a little less hair now, but I mean, it's just, you know, it's a big circle of life. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank everybody for coming. Drive home safe. Good night. Nice. These are awesome. Holy.